Hi, I'm Stephen Klein, and
this is Paige Clark.
We're Healthy Fit Club. We did a video recently about insulin sensitivity, but not just like regular diabetes. We talked about what is now
diabetes type 3.
Yeah, which is basically Alzheimer's, more or less. What we didn't cover in that video was not talking about the deficiencies and the bad stuff, but how to build a really powerful brain, really optimal peak performance brain, like we talk about in Paige.
Well, you asked me kind of what are some of the reasons. Well, what we see, just to kind of recap, what we talked about is that Alzheimer's is multifactorial, meaning there's many things that conspire for that perfect storm for where people and our loved ones lose that ability to use their brain and keep their beautiful memories. So we want to do everything we can to help our brain stay healthy, because these toxins, the aluminum, everyone is exposed to aluminum. We eat out in restaurants and they have the cheap aluminum cookware. They're spraying aluminum on us, we know. And, there's just from vaccines and from other foodstuffs, we really have heavy metals in our systems. These heavy metals create plaques in the brain along with other things, and when the brain then is unable to use the glucose because there's not healthy fats in the diet and the cell membranes aren't healthy, then the body is not able to use the sugar. So what do we do, folks? Well, one of the things you may be aware of, Stephen, is there was a medical doctor, I'll use this, just give him a little overview, whose husband was in his 50s and he started losing his brain function. And being a medical doctor, she said, hey, I'll do what I should do and do some research. So she got onto PubMed and she started saying, let's go see what the drug companies are doing. And she did some research and she saw that they were spending a tremendous amount of money and effort in trying to find out how they could modify coconut oil or saturated fat into a drug that they could sell for a lot of money to help reverse Alzheimer's. So she said, well, why don't I just go ahead and give him coconut oil? And you can Google this on the internet. In fact, she's actually from Newport Richey, which is just around the corner from us.
How about that?
And so she just basically reversed her husband's Alzheimer's by helping him get back in those healthy fats that enabled him to build healthy brain cells so his brain could use the fuel well. So the other things that I love to share with people is, what my favorite also brain foods are. It's healthy saturated fats. It's the phosphatidylserines, okay? These really help build the membranes.
Say that.
Well,
what is a phosphatidylserine?
Lecithin is a great source. It's a great emulsifier. It helps make the fats usable, and those are really great for the brain. And DHA is really a amyloid plaque destroyer. Yeah. So one of the things that we know is that due to this onslaught of these metals that are coming in the sky and so forth, everybody needs to make sure they're getting good omega-3, DHA particularly, EPA, DHA, in a healthy, non-damaged fish oil. I think those are really important. And another one of my favorites, green tea.
Green tea.
Green tea extract, perhaps a fermented one so you can absorb it. It really does a fabulous job in helping to protect the brain from free radical damages. So I wanted to share those because these are superfoods that can help maintain our precious memories.
Yeah, and I'm taking DHA thanks to you, which I've taken other types of oils. And I do know that a specific type of coconut oil, it's actually an extract of coconut oil, is called MCT, which stands for medium chain triglycerides. Those are really beneficial brain food that it can help you out. And a tip, you started talking about...
MCTs are great for weight because they help with insulin resistance. And again, brain and gait, everything.
And also, I do know this, do not use antiperspirant deodorant or antiperspirants, because when you put those on to block your pores and block the sweat, they go into your system and they never, ever, ever, ever leave. And they've been linked to Alzheimer's as well. And there are alternatives. And
breast disease, because when you're putting heavy metals like aluminum that are in antiperspirants, they're right there in the lymph chain, breast lymph chain. So we don't want to use those. I always tell people, who is it, Julia Roberts? She goes in the bathroom and a couple times a day and just washes her armpits with some soap. Don't wear any stink. I think you're better off than wearing antiperspirant.
I'm not going that far. I use some natural stuff that I like. Just look for the ingredient and make sure there's no aluminum.
There's all kinds of healthy deodorant options out there.
So, but that was a great explanation of how to bolster your brain power and avoid Alzheimer's. Thank you very much, Paige. And
optimal health.
Peak performance.